Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show. And as we're thinking about Halloween, we should probably think about brushing our teeth after eating all of those yummy treats. Marielle Pariseau is here in our studio to talk about exactly that. It's the Opal toothbrush. Welcome.
Yes.
Great to have you back.
Here. Thank you so much, and it's so great to be here on November 1st, the day after.
It's the right day.
It's perfect.
Indeed. You were here, we had you here a little while ago
That's
with
right.
the People's Health Clinic to talk about the fact that you're over there helping people learn about dental care, especially the young people, some folks who would otherwise not maybe have some education in that area. And a big part of it was brushing teeth, but that's really an inspiration to you, isn't it?
It has been indeed. Working at the People's Health Clinic really opened my eye. I come from Canada. I worked in an area that's very similar to Park City.
Right.
Wealthy people able to afford all the recommendations I had for them. And at the People's Health Clinic, I see people who don't have insurance, who can't afford to go to the dentist, and who also happen to have a very high incidence of the disease. So it really prompted me into action to look further into the community, start going to the schools, and figure out a way of giving more access, of making oral health more available and accessible to all. And an idea was born, and this is it.
This is it. I'm going to open this one right up.
Yeah,
so
please. It's easier to open it this way from the
wrong direction,
floss
but
and
the flosser side. But this is really neat. The curved feature. This is what I want to ask you about first of all. Why curved like this?
Good question. And this took a while before we came to it. This came a little bit more towards the end of the rapid prototyping. When one brushes teeth, it's very common when you get around just about here where your bicuspids are to switch over and start brushing the other side. And then if you're right-handed, you miss this area, those teeth. So those teeth are covered in plaque and they decay sooner. If you're left-handed, it happens on the other side.
Really?
So with the curve, it makes it easier to come all the way to the front and then switch and go to the other side.
That's a good point.
That's the purpose of the curve.
Okay, I like that. It also sets up very nicely for this back portion with the flosser.
Yes, and we did that on purpose, which caused a whole bunch of headaches for packaging, but that's not the problem.
No, what's more important is getting the right.
It's getting the right position.
Right angle,
So, and this goes together with the numbered thumb rests. If you look at it, there are numbered thumb rests, 1 and 2.
Right.
So that is for flossing. So place your thumb on number 1 and go up there, and it places the flosser in the ideal position to floss your teeth.
This is good. I'm already getting stuff on it.
Uh-oh. Well, that's good.
I need to
use
floss.
it after. You don't need to use it in front of the camera.
Apparently need to floss. It's that granola bar on the way to work this morning. It's doing a job.
And the bacteria feasting on it.
Take care of that.
And then number 2, obviously, it's to floss the lower teeth. Number 3, we get to the brushing part.
Okay.
So number 3 goes with the curve too.
I don't think I do this.
So you go all the way to the front, and then you switch over and you brush your upper teeth, and then the lower teeth on number 4.
The lower teeth are number 4. Okay, maybe that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Right.
It's interesting. You don't think about the mechanics of this.
That's right.
As much as we probably should.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
And what we really wanted to create as well is to associate the floss with the brushing, because we talked a little bit about this 2 weeks ago when I was here, saying if you only brush, you clean only 60% of your teeth.
Right, because as you said, there's 5 surfaces to your teeth.
Exactly. You remember.
2 of them not getting touched if you're not flossing.
Exactly.
Wow.
So this way, you can't ignore the floss. It's right there, and it also trains you to floss first.
Mm-hmm.
So all integrated.
That's right, it says 1 right there.
Right
so you know what to do.
Right
This is neat. Now, talk about the amount of time someone should be brushing their teeth, because this has been a source of argument over the years, but they've come up with a number that's this is the standard now.
Yes, 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah. There's things to help you remember this. There's little sand dials you can flip.
Yeah.
There are, little clocks you can get. There's all kinds of things. Even some toothbrushes that count down the time.
Yes. Exactly. And that's so important. I have to share a little secret with you.
Please
I
do.
don't know if I should, but
Secrets
I love
are good.
camping. I camp a lot, which means that I end up having a shower in public shower spaces.
Right.
When I hear women coming into the public washroom and they start brushing, I secretly time them.
And it's not long, is it? 30 seconds?
Not even. The
Really?
average time is about 20 seconds.
Oh, that's not enough.
And that's not long enough. Exactly.
No.
It's just not long enough.
And people have this impression that if they push harder, they can brush shorter, but that is completely backwards.
Completely backwards. Also feel like if you brush more often or harder, it compensates for not flossing. Doesn't
true
work.
either.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
Doesn't work.
Number of times per day that we should be doing this.
Good question. I say you should do it after each meal.
I do too.
That's what I do.
We've heard some people say twice a day now.
Yes.
That should be the bare minimum, right?
It should be the bare minimum. That's what the American Dental Association recommends. They have a famous slogan, 2 times 2, so brush
Right.
twice a day for 2 minutes. But really, when you think about it, does
That
it make
lunch
sense?
meal's just sitting there, and that's the one you probably eat a lot.
Yeah, and do you put your dirty plates back in the kitchen cupboard? Do you put your sticky fork back
Right.
into the drawer? It doesn't make sense to do
No,
this.
I don't think so either.
So floss and brush after each meal, and what you will notice, well, you already do it, is when you do that, you have in your face fresh breath that lasts for hours.
Right. It's important to keep that, and that's something that if you get behind on this, you start to get periodontal diseases, things of the gums, and eventually you get to a point where it's difficult to work your way back, right?
Oh, very difficult. Once the disease has gotten a grip on you, then it becomes very expensive, time-consuming. You need a lot of repair works at your dentist,
Right.
and it costs a fortune. So if you start flossing and brushing after each meal, you can reduce your dental bills by half or even more. And what's even better is you can get your child to not have to have a tooth drilled or filled
Right.
for his or her whole life.
That's what we really are
That's
pushing
amazing.
towards. Yeah,
Exactly.
Because
And
every time you do that, you're weakening those teeth. right?
Exactly, exactly. Because teeth are really little engineering marvels. You know, they're
right.
amazing.
Let's talk about something else that people may ask about. Let's get to a few things here. We should be rinsing too with something. Should that be a typical?
If you're going to, you don't really need to rinse,
Right.
but let's look at this a little bit. If you're going to rinse, make sure you choose a mouthwash that has fluoride in it.
Right.
That's
and
the
avoid
ingredient.
the alcohols, right?
Avoid the alcohol. I don't like the alcohol in my mouthwash, but I like
It's
my
an
fluoride
astringent.
in my
It's not good for you.
That's right. That's right. So
Okay.
it burns the tissue. You feel it. You can't
Right.
keep that stuff in your mouth for too long.
Okay, then let's also talk about for a moment when is a good time. This is great for Halloween, I think, to eat candy. Now, the study that I read the other day was really pretty poignant about you should make sure that you incorporate it with your meal. Why is that?
Yes, that's super important because when you eat, you have a lot more saliva in your mouth.
right.
You know it. I mean, you start eating and whew, the juices just flow in there.
Yeah.
So that really helps because the saliva has a built-in mechanism to remineralize your teeth. So it has natural calcium and phosphate into it. So it helps your teeth recover from the acid attacks from your meal. So eating your sweets as a dessert at the end of a meal makes a lot of sense.
Best time to do it.
Plus, if you're going to floss and brush after each meal, then you get rid of all the sweets that
right.
would feed the bacteria, which you don't want to harbor in the first place.
So don't eat those snacks by themselves. That's the worst time to do it.
Never by themselves.
Yeah.
And I have 3 quick tips, if I may.
You may.
It's CTP. The first one is choice. Today is the best day to go through your Halloween candies.
Yeah.
Sort them out, eliminate all the ones you don't really care for.
Pick your very favorites to keep.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you know what happens. The candy lie around the house
You'll
and
eat
you
it.
end up eating even the ones you don't like. So just keep the ones you like. So that's
get rid
for
of those
choice.
Snickers bars. They're disgusting.
And the timing, we already talked about it. The best time is to eat as a dessert at the end of a meal, the favorite ones only. And the plan to get rid of the ones you don't like. And a perfect thing would be to come to the People's Health Clinic on November 9th at 3:30, and we are going to exchange your bag of candies for a bag of goodies that are good for you.
That's great.
A brand new toothbrush that's age appropriate, some floss, some toothpaste, a timer, and some xylitol gum.
Which is, we have seen a lot of lately of different xylitol things that you can have. We had some mints here that were made out of xylitol. We've had gum, lots of great stuff, and it actually helps your teeth, right?
That helps your teeth. Xylitol is scientifically known to reduce the numbers of Streptococcus mutans, the main bacteria causing tooth decay.
Wow.
So when you combine xylitol and fluoride, you reduce the bacteria, you make the enamel stronger, stronger, it's a winning combination.
That is terrific.
And so in those bags at the People's Health Clinic next week, there's going to be a lot of xylitol gum in those bags as well.
That's great.
A gift from Clear, a local company right here.
That's awesome. We also, of course, have to thank Epic Promise for all of this too, because
Yes.
they're part of this as well, the People's Health Clinic. Now, lastly, you're doing something really special I want to mention. I thought this was so cool to hear. So for every toothbrush you sell, you're also putting one in a school.
Yes, exactly. And this is how the whole idea was born. In Scotland, they've been doing supervised toothbrushing in schools since 1986.
I remember when we had to as a kid, and I think that's changed a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to start implementing that in schools.
Indeed.
So what we are planning on doing when these come available on the market, for everyone sold, we are going to put one in a school bank to make it possible and more affordable, more accessible for school districts to afford this program,
That's
to
great.
have the kindergartners flossing and brushing after lunch at school. And this is going to make a huge difference. In Scotland, they have demonstrated that they've
They've seen a big change.
They have reduced tooth decay big time in Scotland by doing that. So what are we waiting for? We have to do
Awesome.
this.
Where can we find the Opal?
Not yet available.
Yeah,
We
it's
were
coming.
hoping it's coming. Maybe at the end of the year or early
Okay.
next year. So it's coming soon. And
let
it
us
will be
know?
available. You can visit us at teethfirst.org. So teeth like your teeth and first like number one, .org. And you can find more information there about school programs. If you're a business, if you want to participate, if you want to support one of our school programs, yeah. So as soon as they're available, we're going to launch big time. And if you'd like to have me again at
You can count on
launch,
it.
that would be great.
Marielle, I want to thank you so very much. I feel like I need to go brush my teeth right now after all this talk of decay. So I'm going to go do that here on the Mountain Morning Show. We are going to be wrapping up this day, this hour, and more after these messages.